The winner of this season of Halo will receive a prize package from Shopee Vet Beauty and $50 and 2 palettes courtesy of Fruits Cosmetics. Hi everyone, I'm your pretty host and judge, Hank.
Hi everyone, I'm the other prettier judge and host, Milo.
And welcome to this episode of Halo, where we've asked each contestant to do a makeup look inspired by an influential era.
This challenge, we will not only be looking at the makeup, but we will be looking at the composition of the photo, as well as the editing and the outfit.
Last week was Thomas, which means he was awarded an advantage in this week's challenge.
He got to choose and divvy out the different decades.
This week we had our first elimination, and sadly Ryan was sent home. And while I do agree with the critiques, I do think he's still an amazing artist. I think he has such strong ideas, but I think he needs a little more time to perfect his look and his makeup skills. But other than that, he's such an amazing artist, and it's really sad to see him go because I think he has so much more potential.
I'm feeling great. I don't care what anybody else has to say. Shout out to Ozzy, because she messaged me and was like, hey girl, congratulations, you're so talented. Shout out to Nick for giving me Lady Gaga, because I asked him for it. I messaged him being like, please give me Lady Gaga. And he gave it to me. Love him. He's the best. Me and Nick have like a little alliance going on. Kind of like a I scratch my ass, you like, or I scratch your ass, you scratch mine kind of thing. But I'm not keeping it on the down low, because I'm not trying to like, it's not this big thing. It's just a little bit like, oh, thank you for giving me this. If you want, I'll give you this next challenge. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, what decade do you want? And I gave it to him because he's really cool. So, but I don't know about this whole top 2 thing he's trying to say. Like, okay, maybe we'll be the top 2, but like, I'm not, this is not a free ticket there. So, but anyways, Nick's really cool. Shout out him as well. He said congratulations. And Cohen said congratulations. Thank you, Cohen. That was quite sweet of you. I appreciated that. And I don't hate you. I don't hate Cohen, contrary to popular belief. I don't really hate anybody in the competition. Chanel, I don't know what Chanel is on. Girl, like, I don't even think it was bad. Like, hers was great. I actually really liked it. It's just process of elimination. Like, somebody had to be in the bottom. Stop complaining about it. Like, it's water under the bridge. If I was in the bottom, I wouldn't be fucking spouting off about it. Like, okay, it's not my place to judge. Ryan, I literally messaged Ryan, like, right as he got eliminated and was like, I'm so sorry, you're such a talented artist. Like, it's so sad to see you go. I love you. And he was like, thank you, baby. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, oh, you just repeated the same look. Like, girl, what you gonna do? Just do the same look every single week? Like, copy and paste, blah, blah. Can you fuck off? Like, you're just bitter because you got sent home and I'm the motherfucking winner. So how about you fuck out of my way? Because, like, one less bitch I need to deal with. Honestly. He was so bitter for what reason? Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm really excited about this week's challenge. I got 80s and it's my favorite decade, so I'm really hoping that I can show you guys what the 80s is in essence and really give a full 80s moment. I want to add details that you won't really be able to see at first glance, but when you really look into the full image, it'll become a full moment and it'll be lots of fun to just enjoy and look at. For this week, I want to do an 80s magazine cover with just me on it. I think literature and entertainment can really define a decade, and I think teen magazines were definitely really big back in the 80s. I want to add lots of fun, bright colors, fun geometric shapes that you'd really see throughout like an 80s vibe, but I also want to make it fun, detailed, so that at first glance you'll see the image and it'll look like an 80s magazine cover, but as you look closer into the little headlines or the page numbers or all the different little add-ons that I put into the magazine cover, you'll fully understand the look and it'll just really showcase the 80s as a whole.
Last week Ryan went home and I did agree that he had the weakest look, but I just expected him to go a lot further, and I'm gonna miss him, but you know, it is a competition and I'm happy that I made it to week 3. I'm not the most confident anymore because I was kind of confident the first week and I had the lowest score, and then I was really confident last week and I was in the lowest 3. So I was a little bit shaken and I am a little bit off because I don't know if the looks that I'm creating are good enough anymore. So I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited to try again this week and hopefully I can redeem myself and make up for the past 2 looks. This week, everybody got a decade, and I got the future. So I'm a little bit nervous because I do have a lot of creative freedom because we don't know what the future is yet. So I can really create anything I want, but then again, I don't have anything to work off. I'm excited because I have a lot of creative freedom because the future hasn't happened yet, so we don't have anything to base it off of. And I can create anything that I want, but then again, whereas everybody else has a decade to research and base their looks off of, I don't, and I have to really create everything from scratch and think about my own ideas. So this week I'm going to be doing a Mother Nature robot, and I think that that has a creative concept to it, and I just hope that I deliver and redeem myself, and I'm very excited but also very, very nervous, and I can't wait to see what everybody creates.
Okay, so as you can see, I am not in my normal setup because I am out in South Carolina for a vacation. But that's not going to stop me from doing my confessionals and talking about what I thought about everyone's look. So going down the line with like who won and everything, I do not think that Thomas should have won. I liked his look and it was Gaga-ish, but something was missing from it. I was underwhelmed with the performance, and I didn't think there was anything unique or special about it. It was pretty predictable when it comes to Lady Gaga, and I thought that Thomas could have took a more creative route, but that is my opinion. Nick's look was very pretty. I did not get Lil Nas at all though. It gave me more like Katy Perry Teenage Dream vibes and that kind of stuff because the pastels and the cloud like editing, it looked like Katy Perry's like Teenage Dream album cover. So it was good, but I did not get Lil Nas vibes from that. Chanel's look was good, but also very predictable. I appreciated the craftsmanship and how they tried to step outside the box for this week compared to week 1. But again, it was pretty predictable, and I think that's also why they fell low this week. Cohen's look I really enjoyed. I gave very much Doja Cat. The look was polished, it was all together. They painted themselves like completely purple, so I really appreciated that. And I really liked the performance. The performance was great. They were energetic, they looked good, like makeup, hair, everything. Performance was very good. I appreciate and I'm happy that Cohen was in the top with me and Thomas. I don't know who Callie is like at all, so I would not have I can't even judge it from that because I don't know Callie's aesthetic or anything like that. I know that she made like a TikTok song that popped off, but that's the extent of my knowledge. Oh, Ozzy's look was pretty but predictable as well. I really liked George's look. I thought that George should have been in the top. His look was polished, it was pretty, it was creative and unique, and then his music video was like stellar. Like he had put thought, there was an idea, there was concept, it was everything. I thought that George should have won. Obviously, I wish I would have won because I have one of the hardest people to do, but I'm still happy that I was in the top this week. But at this point, I'm starting to be the Jan of the season. I'm just waiting for that win. Will I ever get it? I don't know, but I sure hope so. Okay, so for this week we got the decades, which I was super excited about. However, with my schedule, it was going to be pretty tough to get my look done. Wednesday night, we got the themes. Thomas was announced as the winner, and he sent out who got what decade that evening. Well, I had Thursday and Friday to get my look done because that Saturday I had a flight at 6 a.m. to South Carolina because I was coming here on vacation. So I had 2 days to get my look done. Thursday I went out and got all my stuff, and then Friday I executed the look. So I had 2 days to do my look, and I still think I popped off because I got the 1920s, and I was like, well, I have 2 days, I can't do anything very extravagant or crazy, but I'm gonna do the best I can because I don't want to get eliminated for only having 2 days. But yeah, I think I did pretty good. I'm pretty confident in the challenge. I think I did very well. As I said, I only had 2 days, and I think I have a good chance of being in the top 2, top 3 again. So we can only hope that's what happens, and yeah, I really want to win a challenge. I really, really want to win because, like I said, I am the Jan of the season. So, thanks.
But yeah, it was up to me to assign, and I think I did a pretty good job. I low-key tried to assign the people that I didn't particularly appreciate at that moment, ones that I didn't think they would do very well at. So I gave Chanel the future because she was annoying me and I didn't think she'd be able to do the future very well. I gave Seth the 20s because the 20s are boring and there's nothing you can really do that's particularly stellar. So I knew if I gave him the 20s and he only had 2 days to do it, then he probably wouldn't win the challenge. I gave Cohen the 80s because Cohen messaged me and said congratulations. I gave Ozzy the 60s because Ozzy messaged me and said congratulations, and I know she can do the 60s, like down. 60s is so up her alley. Gave George the 50s because it was like the last one that I chose, and then I gave Nick the 30s because he said he wanted the 30s, so I gave him the 30s. I thought he should have done the 80s, but whatever, I gave the 80s to Cohen. And I gave myself the 2000s because, I mean, what else would you want? Like, duh. You got everything in the 2000s. You got, like, Scene Kids. You got, like, Avril Lavigne. You got punk. You got, like, emo. And then you got, like, glamorous, like, Y2K princess. Like, and then you got these Hawaii girls. Like, surfer girl. Like, beachy coconut girl. And then you have, like, Paris Hilton, like, oh my god, like, my flip phone, like, my Juicy Couture. I'm probably not going to go down that line because it's very cliche and it's very overdone. I might do, like, a Britney Spears-y type of thing. Or I'm leaning very heavily towards Scene Girl. I think I'm going to do Scene Girl because that's just always been an aesthetic that I've always really liked. And I want to try styling a wig. Not really up my alley, but I think I'll be able to do it. So yeah, I'm really excited for this week. I think I might even snatch another win unless somebody does something like really out of this world, but...
First up, we have Seth with the 20s. Now, looking at this, I instantly get 20s. I love how it's a black and white filter, and I love how instead of just doing like a blank background, Seth edited themselves into a picture from the 20s. I feel like it looks like a photo that would have been taken in the 20s.
I think the makeup is beautiful, the hair is beautiful, the costume is beautiful, and the edit is beautiful, which is basically what we asked them to do. We said,
taking the edit.
And she said, say less. I like how she edited herself into the picture. That was cool. And she looks amazing. Like, the hair is good. Like, finger waves are really hard to do. And I think she also had a trip. So she did this, like, she came up with the idea and did it in 2 days, right?
Yeah, she did the whole look in 2 days. I will say she did play it safe, but I think it works in this context. I think the goal of the challenge was for the second you see the photo, for you to understand the decade and the era. And I think she did that. If I were to nitpick, I can't nitpick. There's honestly nothing you can't, like, it's done so perfectly. The
She's
pearls
looks and stunting pretty.
Maybe if she added some smoke coming from her the cigarette, that would, her smoking device, that would have pushed it. I feel like that would have been beyond, but honestly, it's kind of, I think it's really well done. And she sent in another photo of her where she's edited into a dining table, and I think it's so well how she edited herself in behind the man's shoulder.
I just think it's really cute. Like, the idea is really cute. Like we said previously, the focus of this challenge wasn't necessarily the makeup, it was the overall image. So I don't have a problem with the black and white. I just think I give it a 10 out of 10. Very cute. Okay, what do we think for creativity?
The way she executed it was really creative. Like, I wouldn't have thought to edit myself into a picture from back then. And none of the contestants kind of had that mentality. So I'd give it like an 8 for creativity. For technique, 10 out of 10.
Let me look. The editing is cute. Sure, 10 out of 10. She's fierce. She's stunning. She's serving looks.
And for relevance, I would give it a 10 out of 10 again. I think it's 20s no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, I agree. 10 out of 10.
Next up, we have Nick, who has the 30s.
I think Nick looks really good, and I love the costume. She asked for chest up, and she delivered waist up, so she already went above and beyond on that. She gave us a cute little edit. She gave us a cute little zoom in, which I think does really good. It brings all the attention to himself. I mean, she's serving Juno Birch, which I love.
One thing I will say, looking at this, if I did not know that it was 30s, I think I would have got a 50s or 50s moment. And I feel like there were a lot of like 30s things. It like even the outfit, it could be 30s, but it doesn't
scream 30s.
And it looks very Juno Birch inspired, and Juno Birch is known for doing a like 50s and 60s kind of vibe. So I'm not sure why.
Just the reference wasn't the best. I mean, I do like that Nick tried to take a more creative approach to the challenge and not just do like a cute like 30s gal, but and we saw his reference. I mean, the face, the headscarf, I guess, but like when I think 30s, I don't really think
I also see they have the like blue rubber gloves on, but you can't even see them, which especially with the blue rubber gloves, it reads as Juno Birch, which to me translates as 60s or 50s.
Yeah, and I like the idea of kind of like housewifey. Like I think he definitely could have done something along those lines. I just don't know if this was necessarily the best like route to take with that overall concept. I would give creativity
I'd say a 5 because it's for 30s that is creative, but the idea is also just a direct copy and paste of Juno Birch, which I wish was not the case. I wish they went further, like their own idea almost. I give them a 7 for technique.
Okay, sure. I'll give them a 7 as well. I agree.
And then for relevance,
it's good. It's just not like it's not up to par with some of the other looks.
I give it a 3.
Next up, we have the 50s, which is George.
Sadly, George did not hand in the look or was not able to hand in the look this week. Therefore, eliminating George by default.
Next up, we have Ozzy with the 60s.
I think the makeup is really pretty. I love the like Twiggy makeup with the
I like the winged out because like I've seen people do that, but it's not as like simple as if you were.
I think she kind of blended the 60s makeup with her traditional makeup.
Yeah.
I see there's a lot of attention to detail with the look. There's nails. The hair is really tall and beehivey.
I love the hair. I just wish there was a more cohesive color story because the color she has like the kind of like maroon, but then the blue, but then the red in the back is bright, and the blue on the LEDs on the ceiling don't match the blue. So I just kind of wish there was a more cohesive color story. And
correct me if I'm wrong, but the background gives more 50s kind of diner than it does 60s diner.
You can tell it's 60s. I just kind of wish like I do think that there are maybe some better backgrounds, or like the edit could have been a little different to maybe help further the 60s. For creativity, I would give Ozzy a 6 out of 10. I think it's creative, but it's also, I mean, I don't know. What else would you do for 60s? I would
there's a lot more like flower power kind of things. I feel like it's very safe for 60s. Yeah. For technique, honestly, it's well done. It looks 60s. I'd give it a 9 for technique.
Yeah, I'd agree, a 9. The edit's pretty fierce. The makeup looks good. For relevance, I would give it like a 7. Yeah, I agree, because it is 60s, but it's not as 60s as it maybe could have been.
Next up, we have the 80s with Cohen. I want to start off by saying I love how Cohen did this like magazine, especially that it's called Halo magazine. Just the way it's all designed is very, very, very well done. Especially all the words, like
He's screaming
all the
80s.
hot.
I
Yeah.
live.
And it
Sorry,
says all the best makeup tips and tricks, different pages, and the top tips. It just all the text is like you can tell he thought about it when he was doing all the different texts. I wish that you could see Cohen a little bit better. Cohen, the makeup you can't really see.
I do wish there was like maybe one less cutout of him and he was like a little bit bigger maybe, just so that there was like a distinct focal point. Because like I do love the edit, but like there are 5 of him, and so there's kind of like a lot to look at. So I wish there was maybe just like a singular focal point to start at.
I do appreciate that one of the photos is like a full body. For creativity, I don't think I would not have thought of like doing a magazine.
Yeah.
So I'd give it an 8.
I agree with an 8 because the makeup isn't the most revolutionary. Like when you think 80s, you think blue eye, pink blush. So the makeup isn't the most, but like it's executed very well, and the edit is really interesting.
For technique, I think I'd give it like a 9 because I wish you could see the makeup a little bit better. For how well it relates, I get 80s right away. I'd also give it a 10, I feel.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Thomas. Thomas was 2000, and Thomas also was divvied out all the different categories.
Yeah, which means he got to pick. He was the only one that got to pick which era.
Which personally, I think that Thomas went in like a very I feel like it would be a lot of the contestants, and it would be very easy to go straight to like a Y2K kind of like Paris Hilton fashion moment.
I was thinking that as well. I think this is a really creative take on it, kind of the like MySpace take, because
like
when I hear 2000s, I would think frosted lips, light blue eyeshadow, bleached hair, juicy couture. But I really like it. Yeah.
And I love how like all the PNGs over them, like the overlays are very, very like 2000s over edited.
Yes.
And I think like they look like they would be from like 2009, you know?
I love it so much. I think
Me too. I think it's so great.
Thomas looks stunning. And like the hair, I mean, come on now. Come on now.
And the
unicorn
eye,
animal.
The hair, the way it's swooped, and like all the clips. And I love how it's like a magenta and green like color. Like there's a color story. It has like visual interest. And I love how like I just love how there's props too, and how we blushed the fingers was so amazing. Oh my god, love ya.
Thomas technique, 10 out of 10. The edit is stunning. The makeup is stunning. The hair is stunning. Yes.
And then for relevance, to me, it gives 2000s right away.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10s across the board, except for the first one, which was a 9. So not 10s across the board.
Yeah.
And last and definitely not least, we have
Chanel.
Miss Chanel, who was assigned 2100s. So in the future.
Which is the future. Chanel had a really interesting decade because you have no references.
Nothing to pull from.
But you also have no references holding you back. So you can really do whatever you want. And
opportunity is endless.
she described her look as almost like she is like a robot Mother Nature. And the future is very like eco-green, kind of like if everything goes in the right direction, kind of like robots and nature mixing.
Yeah, live in harmony. Very that.
I think this look is such a step up from the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, she's like Seth. She's getting better every week.
The first week she had the worst look. Second, she was bottom safe. And I think this look, it's a slow climb. And I'm excited to see what she does next week. I think it's really well done. I will say the on the neck and the chest, those lines, they look drawn on. They don't look like an actual 3D like robot panels. I love the bra that's just made out of flowers. I think that's a really good idea when people integrate flowers into their outfit. Wouldn't you agree?
I love flowers.
Me too. It wasn't very ambitious. Like there are some little things that I can see, though some lines are not clean and some are smudged. But
Yeah.
overall, I think it's really good. I do wish I like the background. She does feel a little bit disjointed from the background. Maybe a blurry, kind of a blur like flare filter over top might have helped. But I like it.
I think it's really great. It's definitely a step up from what she's doing, and that like what you said earlier, I'm really excited to see how she continues to grow into the future and into next episode. For creativity, I would give this an 8 out of 10. No, yeah, an 8 out of 10. Because
Yeah.
the idea is like really cool. I wouldn't really have thought of that, I don't think. But we have seen like the mechanical drawn on shine makeup before. I give it an 8 for technique because I think the edit's pretty well done. The costume is cute, the hair is pretty cute, the makeup's cute. There are just some minor technical
Little
things
things.
that I think she could have
Little things,
worked
yeah.
out to make it.
But I feel like if she just practiced a little bit more, I think it would be very perfect. For relevance, I'd give it a 9. I think it reads pretty futuristic.
Yeah, I think it looks amazing.
There are some things that I feel like maybe the hair could be a bit more futuristic.
Yeah, like a cool, like sculpted, like.
Mhm.
Now we're going to announce everybody in order from best rating to worst rating.
Starting with the winner of this week's challenge with an average score of 9.6, we have Thomas.
Congratulations, Thomas. You once again will earn an advantage in next week's challenge. So look out for that.
Next up, we have Seth in second place.
With an average score of 9.3. Amazing job, Seth.
So close.
Yeah,
Keep
girl, you
keep
were
up the good work.
for this close.
In third place, we have Cohen with an average score.
9 of 9.
Again, good work this week. In fourth place, Chanel.
With an average score of 8.3. Amazing.
Fifth place, we have Ozzy with an average score of
7.3. Amazing job, Ozzy.
And second last up, we have Nick with an average score of
5.
Last up, sadly, we have George with an average score of 0. Sadly, George will be eliminated this week, and Thomas is the winner. Thank you all for watching, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And all of everybody's social media will be in the description below, so you can all follow them.
Below.
See you later. See you next week.
See you later.